G'day and welcome to my garage. Come on, focus. Alright. You can see the gap there, I hope. Stupid thing. Anyhow, there is a gap there. There was 25 thou. That one there. Yeah, it was. That was 22 thou actually, but I think I managed to get 25 somewhere. But it doesn't really matter. That's what I was trying to achieve. So what's happened now is that I not only decked the bottom of this off to bring this down lower, so now it's sitting properly on the V. But also I cut it on an angle, and that's what's given me the 25 thou relief. It's not sitting on the deck, so technically it's only sitting in two places. Sitting on the V and probably the outside part of the V. There's a very little amount of movement in there. So it's sitting on the V and it's sitting on the outside edge of the bed. All I have to worry about now is the V in this headstock parallel with the centre line of the spindle. You would hope so. You can't guarantee so, because what I've done here is what the tailstock is like. That's where I got the idea from. I noticed that the tailstock had a gap there. So I'm not brilliant. So whoever designed the tailstock and the way it sits on the bed, I would have thought, is the guy that designed the headstock and the way it sits on the bed. Obviously there's a lot of difference between the guy that designs it and the guy that casts it, and more importantly the guy that machines it. So this bloke that machined the headstock casting probably didn't machine the tailstock. That was the guy next door or the chick across the aisle. But this is, I think, is how it should have looked from new. Now that's not a running surface, so how did it get to the condition that it was in? I don't know. I think it was wrong from the start. But anyhow, it worked, and hopefully it'll be working good. By the way, the finish on that cast iron came up very nice. Little bit of show of a rub. Oops, you can't see anything. Let's see, new camera. Don't go in, go out. The finish on this is quite good. Quite good indeed. I am impressed with it. It's not glass, but then it's cast iron. Alright, I shall reassemble the headstock, and then we'll check that it is mounted parallel to the spindle. Catch you later. I've placed the headstock back on the bed. It's not bolted down. I just want to get a reading of this. So we do have some play there. What have we got? nearly about 2.5, about 2 thou, 3 thou. There's about 3 thou twist in this. So if I place the whole thing against that one edge, so now we bring it in. What do we got? 10. We're on 10. We're now on 7. So I've got 3 thou over that distance. And that distance is approximately 45 millimeters. How do I fix that? Well, one, it should be sitting more solid than that on the V. So what I might do is see if I can hand scrape that V in. I've thought about milling it out, but this thing's, I'd have to make a whole pallet for this to mount to, and then mount the pallet with this to the milling machine. I could do with a pallet, but yeah, that's a big job. So first I'll try hand scraping this V, see if I can get it to sit so it doesn't move. It's good that it's now sitting on sitting down here a lot better. I'm very pleased with that, but I'm not pleased with that. And even if I get rid of that, there still could be a slight misalignment. Well, as I get rid of it, I have to actually align it. Anyhow, leave it with me. I've just excuse me. I've just blued this up, and just taking out some in the gullet here, because it was touching. Just giving it a heap of head clearance. You can see, you might be able to see down here, it's touching, and it's touching over here, all along that edge, there, a little bit down in there. So we might just relieve this area a little bit. Not taking much off, just polishing it more than anything else, making sure there's no burrs in there. There's more coverage down this end than there is up here. Still sitting in the gully there a bit, not much. Down this end's good. This end it's still touching right inside here, and only on the one side. Alright, leave it with me. Well, I'm still at it. Still trying to get this thing to sit properly on the bed. Whoops. We're probably getting about 60% coverage. It doesn't rock anymore. Well, it's wider spread, a bit patchy now, probably only about 40% contact, but it's over the whole area, pretty much over the whole area now. I should pop the spindle out. It would make life a lot easier. All right, I've spent quite some time, i.e. hours. I've managed to get the rock out of that. So that's sitting beautifully on the ways now. Problem I do have is the alignment. Go back up here. So we're on 0 in the back, and it's increasing to 7. 7 out here, so it's gone 7th. It is aimed 7th hour that way. So I need to twist this whole thing by filing, scraping, mostly filing. There's not enough room for scraping with a small file in here I can get in. I file it, so I need to take, it's going that way, it needs to come towards me, which means the far edge on the front has to be filed, and the closest edge on the back has to be filed. And then I have to remember, when I take this off and turn it upside down, everything changes. And because I've been doing a lot of filing on the front V was smaller than the back V, so I reduced the front, opened up the front V, I should say. It's now dropped on a tilt. It's dropped the chuck. I think that's about 3 thou, I think. You won't be able to see this, and I'm not going to reset the camera for this. So 10 there, and 13 there. So I've got to drop it on the front. Anyhow, I'll sort that one out after I sort the orientation of this. Yes, I'm still at it. It's getting down quite well now. It's got 2 thou nosedive and 3 thou of pointing to the back. So tedious work. I shall continue. Well, as if you can see the dial gauge, let's make sure we've got contact, and we have zero of the movement of the dial gauge along the axis of the spindle. Great. Across the top here, let's get it in the middle. That's the middle. And across the top here we have 64, one thou, and it's running up on this end, 1 thou. So I'm going to leave that now. I know I said that last time, but I am going to leave it. Okay, you're back again. Now, if you recall, you're still in frame? Yes, of course. If you recall, I had about 25 thou gap under there. It's now dramatically reduced from that. I haven't checked it actually. It's 14, looks like it's going to be about 14, 15 thou. Try that again. Let's have a look, see what this gap is. That's 15 thou, and on the front, which you can't see, and that's 4 thou on the front, so there's 11 thou difference, but that doesn't matter. What I might do is remount this on the mill and put my face mill and just again machine this without touching the V or to the far side. Actually, what I need to do is about from here to that edge. I might mill that out on a slight angle again, like I did before with the fly cutter, but this time I'll do it with the face mill, and just to give it a little bit more, because 15 thou on the back here is good, but 4 thou on the front, not real happy with that. Just want to give it that little bit more. 10 to 15 thou would be nice. Anything above doesn't really matter. Just in case. Yeah. Alright. I think we'll go to the mill and face that lower face off again. But I'm very happy with it now. It's running parallel, straight with the bed and the spindle, or the spindle and the bed is running parallel to each other, which it was not before. I remember, and I've kept this. This is just a very rough piece of aluminium stock that I had from one of the castings, and it had 0.32 of a millimetre or 13 thou taper. I've measured it, and that's what I've measured it out to be. That was machined with the headstock before I started playing with it. So I'm going to see, after I mill that off, strip all this down, mill that off, clean it really good, because there's a lot of hand filing that went on, so there's a lot of files up inside the gearbox there. It's grey, heap of grey snow inside. I've got to clean all that out, reassemble it. I'll machine this piece again, and compare it, and we'll see what happens. So leave it with me. I'll bring you back later. Right, the base, excuse me, the base of the headstock is being machined for the lathe. My brother came over and disturbed me whilst I was doing this, so I just have to check, have I moved it 10th hour? Okay, I have moved it 10th hour, so I'm going to be taking 10th hour off the base with a 50mm. Just move you over a bit. With a 50mm face mill. Let's see how that goes. It wasn't the spindle, it wasn't the motor belt that was loose. I didn't tighten the final drive belt. That was why it stopped. Alright, take that off. Beautiful. I'll take it off and we will have a look at it together. I've checked the headstock alignment. It still has remained perfectly straight with the bed, and with a 1 thou lift at the chuck to the bed, so it hasn't changed. I was hoping it wouldn't change, but there's still I've put a rather large gap in here now. I haven't measured it, but I had a 30 thou shim in the underneath this. I can't find my good feeler gauges. I'll use these things. That was 30 thou. Yep. Maybe 32, 33. Can't quite get it in there, but I knew that would happen. Anyhow, so I've still got clearance. I've created a gap in there to make sure that I've got contact on the V and contact over here where it bolts down, and it's not contacting anywhere else. So it doesn't float. It's beautifully aligned. Let's hope that fixes it. Okay, I've got to put it back together now. Well, as you can see, the lathe is back together, and it's a very nice machine finish. Not mirror, but still very nice. Now, before I did the work on the headstock, I machined this piece, and it had a taper of 0.32 of a millimetre, which is 13th thou. So let's see what we've got this time. So we've got 47, 48.42. Yeah, 0.44. And can't see it. 0.46. So that's 0.02. Let's see what this gives. 0.06. That's a little bit smaller. Four. 4. It's parallel to maybe 1 thou, or 0.02 is 1 thou. 0.0254 is the correct number. So yes, we've gone from 13th thou to basically 0 taper. Huge improvement, and the quality of the turning is there's no comparison. The old one was very, very rough, and what I've just turned now is very smooth. So that was a successful reworking of the mini lathe headstock base. Alright, I'll have to concentrate on aligning the tailstock with the new position of the headstock. Right, catch you later. And we run up there, and it's what are we, 50 thou. I can't see properly, you're in the way. 52 thou maybe. No, 51.